Victoria, I feel so sorry for you right now. I know you never expected that something like this would come to happen on your biggest day ever, but doesn't it feel like you've been betrayed by your only sister?
Just a little bit, Mom, but when it comes to things like wedding gifts, it's up to each guest how much they want to give. So, even if all she gave me was a card with 64 cents in it, that's still enough to make me feel loved by her. At least the card she wrote for me inside the envelope was really cute, and I plan to hang it on the fridge when I get back home.
But don't you find 64 cents to be a very strange amount? If it was at least something like $1 or $5, that would make a little more sense. But 64 cents? Something about that does not seem right to me at all. Maybe she's trying to send you a message or something by giving you that much. Maybe this is spelling an end to her wanting to be your sister?
You think Oak is trying to make a message out of her gift to me? About something as crazy as that?
Maybe that was all the pocket change she had left at the bottom of her purse or something. In other words, she might be saying that you're not even worth a trip to the ATM? Is that really how you want to be treated by your older sister on a day like today? I know that I would be getting pretty upset right now over that.
What? No way that's what she meant.
But there isn't any other reason for her giving you 64 cents, right? Think about it for a second here, Victoria. I think that your sister is wanting to cut ties to you or something after today. That has to be what she meant by giving you that small amount of pocket change on your wedding day of all days.
You really think so, Mom? Well, what should I do if that's really what she means by this? Should I just stop talking to her or something? I don't get why she'd do something as vague as this if she was really wanting to cut ties to me on my wedding day.
I'm not sure why. But you know something that I've begun to realize now? You have yourself a very respectable man now as your husband, right? He is the president of a very well-known company after all. And once you get married today, that will pretty much be you saying that you came out on top over your older sister, and that you'll never have to work a day in your life ever again. Perhaps you bagging a man like that has made her a bit jealous of you?
Huh? You think that would make her jealous of me? I don't think so. Not Oak, of all people. She's never once acted that way with me, or with anyone for that matter, Mom. And from what she's told me before today, she never really even bothered with things like wanting to get married to anyone. She said she's much more happy being single, and that anytime she does feel lonely, she has a friend that she can go to. Sure, she may have had a tough time back in school with her grades and was scolded a lot by you guys and her teachers for it, but she never turned into some jaded person who was out to get everyone who had it better.
But to her, you were always a spoiled one in the family, right? You had great grades, were well behaved, and were always praised by your dad and I, right? I have always been a lot more proud of you as your mother than her, Victoria. Your sister, however, well, let's just say that I've never really been on even grounds with her. And I'm sure you noticed that a lot of the times, especially after your dad became ill and everything, a lot of my friends have said she's just rebellious. But I really feel she's not a great person, and will do anything to save herself.
Mom, she isn't like that, okay? To me, she's not some failed student who never did well in life and was always left out of things. To me, she's this really caring sister who's always had my back and made sure I was okay when something bad happened to me. You just don't happen to know anything about her is all, Mom.
Did you know that your sister is in a lot of debt right now?
What? You're kidding me, right? She's in debt right now?
She got into gambling, ended up losing everything to the slots and the poker table, and is now having to live with all of that debt over top of her. I told her not to get into such a nasty little habit as going to the casino every night. But you know how she's always wanting to hang around the wrong crowds, and when she found a group that loved to gamble, she joined them and lost everything.
I didn't know that. If she's in need of that much help, she would come to me for help, right? She always had.
I don't think she can. Your sister has always had too much pride in her ways of acting like a delinquent. She would rather die than ask for any help from you or the rest of the family. That's why she ended up giving you only 64 cents as a wedding gift. It was her way of telling you that she is jealous of the life you get to live, while she has to live as a failure who is in serious debt and can't afford to do anything with herself. Maybe she's got nothing left to live for and wants to start a war with you.
A war? You're taking things way too far over there, Mom. I still don't believe everything you've told me, and am going to assume that this is just a misunderstanding. Because there's no way that someone like Oak would ever do something as petty as that to her sister. Although I wonder about those debts you were talking about. She surely would have said something to me about it, right?
She's trying to hide that from you because of her massive, uncontrollable pride. I know what I've seen from her. And as her mother, I know these things very well when it comes to her. I think that from now on, you'd better just stay away from her so that things don't heat up any further, okay? This is your wedding day after all, and there is no good reason for my two lovely daughters to be getting into any fights, right?
Okay. I still can't believe that someone like her would do something like this to me on purpose. I might go and talk to her later to see what she says happened.
No, you shouldn't do that.
But why not? Maybe I can help her get out of that mess if it's true. I don't want her to have to live like that anymore after all she's already had to go through.
People can really surprise us sometimes, Victoria. Even I myself was surprised when I learned about her debt and everything. If you go out asking her about what's happened, and about the money in your card, she might get violent, like those gangs she hangs out with. I don't want my only good daughter getting hurt over this, okay? Just take this as a lesson well learned. Never trust anyone, even your own family members that you thought were close.
Okay, Mom, I understand. I'll do my best just to let Oak be.
Victoria, this is a really amazing venue you've got yourself here. I'm really getting fired up for your wedding now. I just went out into the garden and saw all the pictures you and your fiancé put up of you guys. And I have to say, you really did it landing such an amazing man as him. You know, if I wasn't wanting to stay out of heavy commitments like marriage, I'd ask you to show me one of his friends.
Hey, Oak. How are things going for you? Why do you sound so excited right now about my wedding?
What? Come on now. It's your wedding day, and it's supposed to be a very happy occasion for everyone here, right? And you, more than anyone here, should understand that and stop being such a grouch.
Huh?
I just saw you a little bit ago staring at your phone, and you looked pretty upset. Maybe it's too early in the morning yet for you to be partying? I guess the wedding is starting soon, though, now, and you are beginning to feel a little bit nervous, right? But don't worry, I'm a little nervous too because I'm about to see my little sister getting married. Normally, I'm not one to want to cry, but today I might have to make an exception.
I see.
I think it is very admirable that you're getting married today, considering I'm your older sister and I'm still single with no plans of marriage in sight. But anyway, congrats on everything, Victoria. As your older sister, I am really, really happy for you and hope that you and your husband have a wonderful life together. And as a way to show you just how happy I am about this, I made sure to give you a little extra as a wedding gift. Go ahead and use that money with your soon-to-be husband and go on a wonderful date.
Are you talking about the 64 cents you gave me?
Wait, what? 64 cents?
I'm sorry, Oak. I really hate to make a comment about this, especially since this was a wedding gift to me from you, but were you trying to pull some kind of a prank on me here? All that was in the envelope with the card was 64 cents.
64 cents? What are you talking about, silly? Are you trying to prank me now or something?
Not at all. That envelope you gave to me only had 64 cents and change inside of it. I looked at it a little bit ago because I noticed that it hadn't been sealed up properly, and that was all that you gave me.
Wait, what? No way, that can't be right. I made sure to put $1,000 in there for you. There has to be some kind of a mistake, right? Maybe that envelope was from someone else?
You put $1,000 in it? But there wasn't anything besides a well-written card and some change.
Well, of course I did. I'm your older sister after all. I would never ever give you 64 cents on your wedding day as a gift, even if it was just meant to be a joke or something. I worked my butt off and made sure to save up $1,000 for you so that you could get something special on me. This is insane, Victoria.
Are you sure that's how much you gave me? The card that was inside was from you, so that had to be the envelope you gave me.
I am 100% positive that that's the amount I put in there. I distinctly remember getting 10 $100 bills from the ATM and putting them in that card for you.
Is that right? I thought you were trying to make some kind of a message with that small amount of change then. Like you wanted to cut ties to me or something.
You thought I'd want to cut ties to you? Come on now, Victoria. No way I'd ever. I definitely put in $1,000, and I can even show you my transaction history from my bank account where I pulled that money at the ATM.
No need, Oak. I trust you, and I'm very relieved to hear that. But I'm also worried about something else entirely now. If you really did put $1,000 in that envelope, that means someone went and took the money out of it and replaced it all with 64 cents in change.
Yeah, that's something to still be worked up about, isn't it? Right now, $999.36 is missing. Had the envelope been empty when you opened it up earlier, that could have meant that the money slipped out or something like that. Which, that alone would be hard to believe.
I know.
But because there was then 64 cents placed inside the envelope, that means someone went into that card and replaced that money with some spare change.
I'd hate to have to start suspecting people of doing that. Perhaps there was some kind of a mistake by the people up front that were taking all the gifts from the guests for me. Maybe they thought something was wrong with the envelope and opened it up.
How could they have made a mistake where they replaced $1,000 in bills with 64 cents? Come on, Victoria. I didn't put $1,000 in there with only change or something. Had I done that, then maybe it would make a little more sense.
That's true. Then that would mean someone really did open that envelope and took your money out that you gave me and replaced it with some change. I really hate to think that's the case, because who would be willing to do such a thing like that?
Well, if you think about it logically, it could have quite well been Mom who did that. Especially considering everything that's been going on with her.
Wait, what do you mean?
You didn't know about this? Right now, Mom is drowning in debt. She's been having to borrow money from different loan sharks for a few years now, and has had trouble paying them all back. She even ran away from me without ever repaying the money she borrowed, and has not talked to me since. Even avoiding me all morning while I've been here.
What? Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I actually met with her recently asking about what was going on, and not even forcing her to pay me back or anything like that. I just wanted to make sure she was all right and everything. So, I drove out to her place and saw her out front. I then parked and said hi to her as I walked up. But before I could actually ask if she needed any help from me, she slapped my face and ran.
Mom slapped you?
Yeah. I guess she got really nervous and upset that her daughter that she borrowed money from was asking about the situation. Mom has always had this large ego though, right? So I guess that's something she'd do to me.
Wait a sec. Who am I supposed to trust here? Mom was saying that you were the one that intentionally put 64 cents in there as a message to me to stay away from you. Something about how you were jealous of me since I'm married to a wealthy man now and you've been in debt after gambling.
Mom said that I am in debt? She really said that about me?
Yes, and she also told me that I shouldn't talk to you anymore and should stay away.
I see. So she is wanting to end all of this on her terms while pinning the blame on me, your sister. She must really, really be desperate for money then, if that's the way she's wanting to play this game. All right then, let's go out and prove to everyone here that Mom is the one that took the $1,000 from you.
Wait, how are we supposed to do that?
Victoria? What did you mean when you said you had something you wanted to talk about? The ceremony's about to start for you, so shouldn't you be getting ready to go?
Someone has gone and taken some money out of one of the wedding gifts that was given to me. So we had decided to delay the wedding until that has been taken care of. The venue staff are going around right now and informing all the guests here.
A theft occurred? Why don't we just wait until after the wedding is over to deal with all of that? After you have gotten married and are having your after party, you can call the police. How about for right now, we just proceed with your wedding and enjoy it?
Not happening, Mom. If we start the wedding now, then that will give the thief ample time to escape from here and get a long ways away from us. Neither myself nor anyone else here would want that to happen.
The thief? What are you going on about? They are probably already gone by now, right? Why waste time looking for them now?
Because, Mom, you're the thief we're after. Or you very well could be. Could you please come to me with your purse and show me everything inside of it?
Wait, what? Are you really going to suspect your own mother of being the one that took the money?
It's not that we want to say that you're 100% the thief, but we have to eliminate all possibilities that you could be who we're after. Now just come over to me and show me the contents of your purse and wallet. Once you've done that, I won't bother you anymore, okay?
Fine, if that's what will satisfy you.
Actually, I can see you right now, Mom. I'm coming over to you now. I can see you're just about to open up your wallet.
Wait. You can see me?
Yes, so please leave your purse and wallet alone until I get to you.
Wait a second, Victoria.
That's the money from Oak, Mom.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that I'm the thief? You haven't even shown up yet. How can you even prove that this money is from that envelope?
Oak made sure to take a picture of the serial numbers that were on the $100 bills before she put them in the card. And those dollars look exactly like the ones she was giving to me. Mom, stay right there and wait for me. You have to give me that money back right now.
Serial numbers? I've been set up. I'm being framed to look like I was a thief. Oak must have wanted for this to happen to me.
What? You can't blame her for what you've done this time, Mom. I heard about everything from her already, and she told me you're the one in a lot of debt right now, not her.
Huh?
You even went and borrowed money from her, and when she came to ask about it, you slapped her in the face and ran.
That's not true. She was lying to you so that you could think I did all of this.
A mother having to borrow money from her kids during tough times is not unheard of, Mom. Sure, it may suck to do, but things happen to everyone.
No, this is not right. Oak went and did something to make you trust her. She went and put 64 cents into your card on purpose, and is now trying to blame me for stealing money that she never even gave you.
I did not do that, Mom. Accusing me of something I never did and saying I'm the one in debt is completely unfair, actually.
Unfair? You're the one who's the thief. If you and Victoria keep on blaming me for this, then I'll tell everyone here at this wedding what you did.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Mom. You'd only be making things worse for yourself then.
No, it would not.
Mom, just take a second to breathe and relax. You really need to think about what you're doing here, okay?
How dare you talk to your own mother like that? I don't care any more about your secrets. I'll tell everyone here about the real you and make you wish you'd stayed away.
Wait, Mom, don't. Mom, that should have helped you realize, right? All of this evidence that we've gathered points to you being the one that took the money from that card, all right? Everyone here now knows about it too, and can all agree that you are the thief. Plus, you going out there making such a scene trying to blame me for something I obviously never did just got you carried out of here by security. Good going, Mom.
Are you happy now, having taken your own mother down like that?
You're going to blame me for that? You went and not only stole the money I was giving to Victoria as a gift and replaced it with 64 cents, but you then tried to blame me and lie about my situation. All of what's happened to you is clearly your fault and not mine.
You've known about how desperate of a situation I've been in, though. Yet you still went and did this to me. How dare you be so heartless to your own mother?
Heartless, huh? What exactly do you mean by that? It's actually hilarious how childish and absurd you're being right now, Mom. Are you trying to claim right now that if I had gone and taken the blame you put on me, then everything would be fine and dandy?
That's right. I raised you to act like an adult, you ungrateful child. Don't you feel any sense of duty to repay me for all that I've done for you?
Taking blame for a crime is not something I'm willing to do for a woman like you. Even if you think you deserve it, I don't think so. You never even did anything besides feed me, and most of the care and love came from Dad anyway. So don't try playing that card here. And if you're really questioning whether or not I've helped you enough yet, think about that money I already lended you. There's also all of the help that Victoria has done to try and make you happy. But for some reason, nothing we do for you is ever enough, is it?
Never enough. Of course what you've done for me isn't enough. I mean, look at what you're doing to me right now. Instead of celebrating your little sister's wedding like everyone else, you're on your phone nagging me about the money I owe you.
I never said that you needed to pay me back yet, Mom. I just came out to talk with you before because I wanted to know why you'd been dodging all my calls. I was worried about how things were going, and if you were able to manage any of your debt yet or not.
My financial situation is none of your business, you useless child.
Well, it kind of is now since I lent you some money. And don't start it with calling me the useless one because so far you've gotten a whole lot of use out of me.
Shut your mouth. You've gone and ruined everything for me now. I was already having to walk a very thin line, and now I've been kicked out of Victoria's wedding and had to give back that money. I can't believe I ever bothered to raise such a selfish bitch like you. I have nothing else to say now. Goodbye forever, asshole.
Don't worry, because I have nothing left to say to you either now. I'll have my lawyer get in touch with you later about the money you still owe me. And don't think you can run away from them because I have everything documented from that transaction.
Wait, a lawyer? Now you're taking things way too over the top.
You sure? Because I think a lawyer is very appropriate in a situation like this. I never even trusted you before, Mom, and that's why I made sure to keep records of all the money I gave to you, as well as took pictures of any cash that was being handled around you. Remember how I had you sign that IOU before? It's going to come back and bite you in the ass now, Mom. And don't think I'll be going easy on you just because you're family either.
Wait, why are you wanting to do all of this to me?
That's just how it is in the world of business, Mom. I was being too kind and lenient with you before, and that led to me getting slapped and blamed for something I never did. So this time, I'm keeping a tighter leash on you. Now don't you ever talk to me again without my lawyer around.
Wait, Oak! Hey, Victoria. You should be able to forgive your mother for what happened today, right? You are far different from your older sister, right? You are a much more understanding and open-minded woman, right? So...
Mom, please don't contact me anymore. I've decided that I'm going to cut ties to you and will no longer have anything to do with the life you've chosen to live.
Hey, come on, Victoria. I was just dealing with a lot of things. And me going in and stealing your money from Oak like that was just a spur-of-the-moment kind of thing, okay? You know about how I've been having some money issues with Oak after all. And when I saw that she had $1,000 to give you, I felt it would be put to better use going to me, you know?
Mom, don't make it sound like this was her problem as well. She's not taken any money from you yet, but you've taken quite a lot from her now.
I know, but what happened later on was just something between her and I. And it's not like anyone else was getting hurt by what I did today, right? Just you both, my daughters.
Mom, we already know that you went through other gifts from the people and stole money from their cards as well.
What?
The venue staff went through all of the envelopes that were given to my husband and I and found plenty of them torn open. Were you planning to blame all of that on Oak as well?
No, wait. That wasn't me, Victoria. That had to have been Oak's doing. She's the one who's holding grudges against me now for what happened.
Mom, this venue has security cameras up all over it, and we caught you on one of them doing all of that. Just give it up now, please. There is no way for you to talk your way out this time. And the only one who seems to have something seriously wrong with them is you.
No, wait. I was just going through to make sure you had gotten gifts from everyone today, okay?
Enough with the excuses already, Mom. Why do you always have to lie about everything and then blame Oak? Can't you see that she's been the one supporting both you and I this whole time and has done nothing to deserve your crap? She's been the one keeping this family going ever since Dad had his stroke.
but she was expelled from high school. That's right. They're caused me to become embarrassed as her mother.
She was expelled because she couldn't keep going to school anymore, because she had to work to help us afford Dad's medical bills. I get that it sucks one of your daughters had to go through that, but it was for the sake of us three.
That might be true, but she was also going out and getting into fights with other hooligans after getting expelled.
And you're going to blame her for hanging out with a rough crowd? She had to leave school and start working like an adult at the age of 16 and was then treated like crap by her mother for it. Of course she was going to go out and find some way to release her stress.
But she...
No, Mom, no more. You have been this egotistical parent all our lives that could never live with either one of us having any faults. And when she had to leave school in order to start making money for the family, you picked her apart because that made your lazy ass look bad. You even tried to exclude her from my wedding day over that. I'm sorry, Mom, but I have had enough. It's over. You're no longer my mom. You have been such a toxic person and have even started to steal from people.
Wait, I was doing it all for you, Victoria.
Bull crap. It was all for yourself, and you know that. Now leave me alone. I can't trust a chronic liar like you anymore.
Oh, how can you say that to me? We are family, Victoria. Are you really just going to abandon me that easily?
You taught me that earlier, didn't you? Not to trust people just because they're your family? Goodbye.
Victoria!
Victoria, I'm so happy to hear that the wedding ended smoothly for you after everything that happened. I'm sure that was a lot for you to have to manage, both physically and emotionally.
You're right about that, Oak. And, I wanted to say that I'm sorry for everything that's happened.
What do you mean?
I never had the courage to leave Mom behind like you warned me to before. I even noticed how badly she would treat you after Dad became ill, and yet I still chose to be by her side.
All of that doesn't matter to me anymore. Honestly, the reason I think you've grown into such a wonderful little sister is because you had to deal with all her crap while you were younger. And to me, not all of that was bad, right? I'd been through a lot worse.
But still, Oak, why did you even end up lending money like that later on? She was a total jerk to you, yet you still chose to help her after leaving the house?
Well, because she was still family to me and had gone through a lot raising me. Besides that, there isn't really any other reason.
You really are one of the nicest people I know, Oak. I would have never been able to do something like that for her had she asked.
Now, on a more important note, you did get that $1,000 I gifted you back from Mom, right? How about you take me out to get some good steaks sometime to celebrate?
What? You're asking me to take you out to get some expensive steaks using the money you gifted me for my wedding?
I'll make sure to pay 64 cents of the bill, all right?
Oh, don't even joke around with me about that now. But, all right, let's go get some steaks. We've been through a lot together, you and I, so let's refresh our minds while taking in some good old meat. After being kicked out of the wedding by security and being forced to give all of that money she stole from the wedding cards back, she lost all the support of everyone in the family and was cut off from the rest of us. She would later have to be questioned by the police due to a number of calls that came in about her stealing money from me at my wedding. And that in and of itself would lead to a very large investigation into her. The police would later find that she'd also been connected to a few cases of theft as well outside my wedding, and would have to pay for all those crimes as well. On top of that, she started to get pursued by some of the debt collectors she'd been borrowing money from, and had to make a run from them, leading to what could have become a life of evasion. Having no allies to help her, no place to hide, and no money at all, it's a real mystery how she was able to get out of town so quickly without being caught. But, as we expected, she could only make it so far before those collectors caught up to her and took her away to pay off her debt working for them. I'm not really sure how much debt she was in with all of them before being captured and taken away, but Oak told me she had to be close to $100,000 in debt, because when she came to Oak for help, she was around $80,000. It's too bad she never bothered to listen to Oak's advice about going out and getting a job again, though, and that's going to be one regret in a whole ocean of them for her. I wonder if now, having gone through everything, she started to realize that that daughter of hers she'd always looked down on and tried to blame for being a thief was her only ally this whole time. Well, it's too late now for her because Oak has completely cut my mom out of her life like I'd done, and is even ignoring all her calls that came throughout the day. Let's just say none of us have really lost an important member of our family. When it comes to how things have been for myself, I've made sure to maintain a really good relationship with Oak. since she's the only family I have left from home. We'll even have her over for dinner at my husband's and my place once a week, just so that we stay in touch and so that she doesn't have to feel alone. We've even told her about the plans we have for kids, and that if she's looking to make a little extra money, she should stick around and be our honorary babysitter. As for that steak dinner Oak wanted to do, only a few days after my wedding, her and I really did go out for steak together. However, she never let me pay for her, and told me we'd split the bill instead.
If your younger brother is going to get married now, the whole family has to support him. And we already talked about how you are going to pay for the whole wedding as his older sister. So please don't think you can talk your way out of things this time.
You're joking, right?
Send me $70,000 right now. You already know all of my bank account details, so I expect that money to get into it by the end of the day today.
Wait, hold on a second. I literally have no idea what you're talking about right now. Is Davis really going to get married now? And with May?
That's what I'm saying right now, aren't I? He's amazing, isn't he? For someone who had been a shut-in all his life, he's finally getting married. And to someone as gorgeous and fun as May, he really is an adult now.
Well, he's still a shut-in right now, though, and him getting married now isn't going to change anything. Honestly, I think it's only going to make him worse.
You need to stop getting so jealous of him right now just because you're the one that's still single. You're making yourself look like a disgrace.
Wait, the reason I can't get married is...
Allow me to tell you the reason why you can't get married. First of all, you are very narrow-minded, and second of all, you're always so sassy. And when it comes to the way you speak to others, you're always so rude and defensive. Any one of these things wouldn't be much of an issue, but considering that you have them all, nobody is willing to marry you. Oh, we can also talk about your looks.
How dare you talk about your own daughter that way?
It's because you're my own daughter that I might be able to talk to you like this. Oh, Jesus. So this is what they mean by having selfish kids that don't care about their parents' feelings.
How come you're the one calling me selfish when it's you and David who rely on my income? I think both you and him just don't like the person that I am, right?
My goodness. You're always fighting with me like that. Nothing about you has changed from the past. You take a look at your little brother right now and learn from him. That kid is always listening to what I have to say to him, right?
Why are you asking me to look and learn at my little brother who doesn't have a job and is always sitting in the house all day playing his video games? Now answer this, Mom. Why are you always spoiling somebody like him when I'm the one who's working my butt off making all the money for this family?
Because David happens to be a good little kid for me. He and I never have to talk about him getting a job or him being a shut-in either. He's just a better person than you all around, and that's why I never complain about him. And unlike yourself, he's told me that he'll be willing to show me my grandkids one day.
And who do you think is going to be the one to raise that grandchild of yours? Not only does David not have a job right now, but neither does May. I feel like neither one of those jobless shut-ins should be having a kid in this day and age.
I'm telling you right now to stop acting so twisted talking about him like that. He's not even here to defend himself right now, which makes you look all the worse.
How can you even call yourself a mother right now when you talk to me like this? Jeez, all of this on top of already having to deal with a really suspicious person at work today?
Anyway, with you being his older sister, you're going to be the one paying for his wedding, understood? It's going to be $70,000. You can handle that, right? After all, you are the CEO of your own company.
I seriously don't have any clue what you were talking about right now. What is going on with you right now? Are you seriously going to get married to May now?
Oh, did you already hear about that from Mom? Well, I seriously am going to get married to her. I heard that by getting married, you're more likely to get help from the government, and that's why I want to marry her.
So that's your reason for wanting to be with her?
Well, of course, that's not the only reason I want to be married to her. For May and I, it already feels like we're both living together, and I'm sure if I get married to her right now, it'll make Mom feel a whole lot better about herself, right?
Well, if you want to make Mom feel better about herself, how about you get a job?
Lena, I feel as though I've already told you this before. I am a pro gamer right now, and that means playing games is my job.
Listen, David, I don't mind you calling yourself a pro gamer or anything like that, but at least start calling yourself that once you're making some money.
And to make sure that I make a lot of money as a pro gamer, I have to continue to practice over and over again. When it comes to us gamers, playing every day is the best thing we can do for ourselves. It's like being a pro athlete, training over and over again for the big day.
And if you were a real pro gamer, I would support you in what you're doing. I, for one, actually happen to like video games myself and have watched a lot of esports tournaments before. But listen, David, have you ever even been in a gaming tournament before?
Recently, I haven't had the time to get into the tournaments, but I'm telling you, the next tournament that comes up, I'm going to play in it and leave some lasting impressions. And that's why right now I'm not even sleeping because I'm training so much for those tournaments.
What do you mean you haven't had the correct timing to get into these tournaments? It's not like you're doing anything else with your day, so make time to actually play in them for once.
Either way, you can't keep calling me a shut-in like that all the time. So when it comes to that 70 grand Mom was asking for, make sure you hand it over to her.
If you keep thinking you're not some kind of shut-in, then how about you pay yourself? Are you not aware of how ridiculous everything you're saying is sounding right now?
You're just jealous of me, aren't you, Lena? I know because Mom told me before about you. You happen to still be single and haven't even had a chance with another man in a long time. So when you see me and May having a good relationship with each other, you only grow more jealous and upset.
You're not even listening to what I'm saying anymore. By the way, what is May even doing right now for a living? Can't she at least go out and find a job so you guys can make a little income?
Right now, May is working as a YouTuber, so she's doing the same thing as me right now, working an incredible job inside of her comfortable room, so there's no reason for either one of us to have to leave the house to go work.
Ugh, you are still saying that she's doing those things? Then tell me, David, how many videos has May made so far as a YouTuber?
She's made one video so far, and that was her debut video.
So she's still only made one video so far for her YouTube channel, and that was a half a year ago. Yet you're still going to call her a YouTuber? The both of you really need to have a good look at your reality right now. Like, seriously.
Shut up! You're the one that should be taking a good look at your reality. How about you stop screwing around all the time and go out and find yourself a man who you can marry? Oh, but unlike me, you're both ugly and stupid, so there was never going to be a chance for you to find a man. I think it's best that you start finding a liking in women instead.
I've had enough of this. Even trying to care about your situation right now is going to make me go insane.
Sure, I'm the one who's going insane right now listening to you. Anyhow, you need to make sure to pay that 70 grand to Mom as soon as possible, all right?
God.
Excuse me, Lena, but where have you gone off to? I noticed that all of your things have disappeared out of your room as well.
I'm sorry, but I ran away from home in the middle of the night. I am no longer going to be affiliating myself with any of you anymore.
Well, that is nothing but fantastic news to my ears. Because I'll never, ever have to see you in that arrogant attitude of yours ever again. But just make sure to keep sending your brother and I the money for this house and the food, all right? You're the older sister after all, so that's only natural for you, right?
I have no reason to be sending you both money anymore.
What?
What I just said meant that I am cutting ties to you now. Last night I made that decision and boy, did it feel great. I was wondering why I had to be the one taking care of two useless people, and it came to me that there was no reason for it at all.
You hold it right there. Whoever said that you had any right to be cutting ties to David and I?
I don't need anyone telling me whether I have the right to or not. Would you like me to go to Dad's grave or something and ask him for permission?
You listen here. That's the kind of sassy and arrogant attitude that I'm talking about. You're making it out like you're the one who's better than the rest of us here.
Well, that's because I am better than the both of you. Didn't you realize that already? I've been the one paying for literally everything that has to do with the family. From the house and its rent to the food and other crap everyone needs. And it hasn't just been the both of you either recently, but May as well, who just came crawling right in with the rest of us and isn't even adding anything to the family. So no matter how you think of it, I'm the best here. I'm the god of all you heathens.
You're having to do all of that for us because we're your family. And remember me, the one that raised you from the moment you were formed in my belly?
Excuse me? The only person I ever remember caring for me was Dad. And ever since he passed away, I have had to take his place and work for the rest of you.
You really seem to think that we all have to repay you for doing that.
You're the one that just said you were the one that raised me all this time in a condescending tone, right? That makes you far more of a dick than I am right now.
Well, so be it. Since this is the way you want to handle things, don't even bother coming back to this house anymore. Now that you cried about all of those things, you're feeling a lot better, right?
Not at all. I won't be feeling better about things until after I've cut ties to you all completely. Are you still not aware of that either? I'm not going home.
Listen, you. If you don't actually come back here, then what are we all going to do?
I don't care. How about the three of you do something with your lives and get jobs?
What the hell was that? Then what are we supposed to do about David and May's upcoming marriage? You're the older sister, right? Are you telling me that you have no interest in paying for their wedding?
Why the hell do I have to hand over $70,000 to you? How about those two just go to the courthouse, hand in their paperwork, and get married without a wedding? It would be practically free that way.
They're not going to do that. Oh, you really are such a cold-hearted woman.
I am? I wonder who I got that from. With all of that having been said, I am no longer going back home. Goodbye forever now, Mom.
You hold your horses, Lena.
Yo, Lena, what do you think you're doing cutting ties to both Mom and me? Are you abandoning all of us now after you left the house without telling a single person?
Actually, yeah, I am abandoning you all. From now on, the three of you will have to figure things out there.
That can't be! If you really do leave us forever, you're gonna be upsetting Mom!
And I am totally fine with her being upset. If anything, I'd love it if she got so upset that she had to cry about it.
What? What do you think Dad up in heaven will think about all of this? I'm sure he's gonna be so saddened by all of this.
I like to believe that Dad will actually be really happy to see me breaking ties with all of you. After all, it was only he and I that actually amounted to anything in the family.
That's not true at all. How could he be happy about you throwing away the rest of your family like that?
Well, hold on a second. You're the pro gamer, aren't you? And you told me that May is still a YouTuber. As long as you both keep doing that, you should be able to support the family off that income, right?
I told you before that I'm not making any income yet with this job. It's not as easy as you think to be able to make a living off of being a professional. Life is not as easy as you think.
I never thought I'd be getting told that by you. Well, anyway, I'm not going to stick around to care for the three of you. And I do not plan to ever hand you guys that $70,000 you're all begging me for.
What? You're not gonna give us that money?
Why are you getting so surprised by me saying that? If anything, I'm the one who's shocked that you feel like your marriage would be worth my $70,000.
But wait, If we don't have that money, we'll be in trouble. Please, Lena, please.
I'm sure that it doesn't cost $70,000 to get married to someone like May.
It's not about the marriage itself, but the fact that I've got to use $70,000 on some other things.
Huh? What was that? What are you planning to do with my money?
I need to pay off my debt. It's getting to that point now where if I don't start to pay it off soon, I'll be in major trouble. And it seems that they already found out about where I live.
Hold it right there, David. Tell me exactly what happened there. What kind of debt did you get into? I didn't even realize that you were in so much debt right now.
It's all because May wanted so many things from me. And so I just thought that later on I'd have you pay back all of that debt for me.
So it was all a lie that you needed the money for a wedding?
I mean, if we were to have a wedding, who all would be willing to actually come to it? Both myself and May have been neats all our life, which would make it a waste of money.
You're being way more open about all of that than I thought. Wait a sec, where did a neat like you even end up borrowing all of that money from then?
I borrowed it from some guys that May knows, and she said they'd be willing to lend me a bunch of money. However, recently they've really been getting on me about paying them back.
What? Wait, does that mean...
They required that I sign for a very high interest rate, and now it's coming to bite me in the ass. I told them about where you worked and everything, but after they visited there, they all came right back to me.
Huh? What the hell do you think you're doing? So that's what that was all about? That strange man that came into the office one day? Hold on, wait, that would mean May is...
That's right. It can't be helped how selfish of a woman she really is. But to me, that kind of a personality is really cute, right?
Think all of this through very carefully, David. Are you not aware that May is most likely associated with that group and is there to help get people into insane debt?
Hey, that's not at all the case. You're just overthinking things now.
I'm not overthinking a single goddamn thing here. The way I'm thinking about all of this is very normal for most people.
I'm telling you that's not the case. There's no reason for her to do something like that. So could you please cut it out now with those stupid delusions you're having about her?
David, cut the bull crap and take a look around you right now, why don't you? I always knew you had a hard time seeing things for the way they really are, but now you're making it seem as though you're just blind. God.
Shut up about it already. You're just starting to piss me off now saying all of that about me.
You have to understand that I'm telling the truth deep down, right? You've been tricked by her, but you're too afraid to admit it. I know as your older sister that you're not totally stupid. You've always been really calm when approaching everything and have always looked at things thoroughly enough to understand them.
Shut up already! I know that May loves me and that you're just jealous. I've even heard her say that she loves me thousands of times.
David, has there ever been anything the woman has done for you so far?
Well, about that.
And how much have you been getting used by her?
Well, in terms of money, she's used about $40,000.
So you're telling me that you've borrowed and spent $40,000 for the woman, and yet she hasn't done a single damn thing for you? And yet you're still telling me that that right there is love?
I read all over online that things like love don't have to be shown through buying things for the other partner.
I get what you're saying, but she's used you for $40,000 now, right? Are you kidding me? That's the kind of money where you'd expect to get something of monetary value back from her. No matter how much I love someone, if they were to use $40,000 from me, then I'd make sure to let them know that I expect more than just the words "I love you" back in return.
That's just because you're a cold-hearted woman and only care about things. Anyhow, Mary's not the kind of monster you keep on having the delusion that she is. And you know what? Now I'm gonna go and ask her myself about that to prove my point to you. Yo, Mary's gone and run off and I can't find her anywhere.
Are you kidding me?
I didn't think that she'd have to leave the house today, but why would May leave me like this? None of this is making any sense to me.
No, this should all be making really good sense to you now, right? You were used by her to get some money from her loan shark friends.
She left me a note on the kitchen counter. It reads, "Hurry up and pay off that money," in bold letters. This is so strange, actually, because originally it was me that gave all of that money to her.
All she did was force you to take out a loan for a large sum of money and use you for it over time, right? She must have known someone like you would be the easiest person to trick into something like that. She must have also been aware that your older sister is a CEO and knew there would be some real money in you.
No way! I know for sure that May was threatened into doing this to me. She must have just gotten scared because of those men, and that's why she took off. I know that has to be the truth.
If that's really what you want to believe that the reason was, then go right ahead. But if you're only doing that as a way to run from reality, you're better off stopping right now.
What should I be doing about all of this?
Well, I'm not going to sit around and help you with all of that. Now, you get out of that house and learn how to take care of yourself for once. Get yourself a job that actually pays you and live a new life. You can do that, right? Something simple as that. Now, please go out and do that now before it's too late.
I wonder if I can really do all of that.
Honestly, I don't know. But since you're an adult now and have been for years, you should be able to do all of that. It's expected of you in this world. So stop trying to ask me for all of this help. Help yourself instead of trying to ask others. But I'm sure all of that is going to be really tough for you when all you do is make excuses in order to run away from reality, right?
I'm not running away from anything.
The reason you never actually join any gaming tournaments is because you're too afraid to lose, and so you run away, right? If you were to just think about the moment and believe in who you are, then I'm sure you wouldn't end up in as bad of an outcome as you think. But instead, all you do is think about failing, and that's why you turn tail and run the other way.
You!
Now, do your best turning your life around while also figuring out how not to live like a total loser. And try not to upset our dad up in heaven any longer than you already have.
What the hell did you end up saying to David? He is so upset and sad now that he won't even respond to any of my calls to him now.
I had to show him the reality of his situation. I just hope that with his eyes opened wide to all of it, he'll start to take care of himself more and change for the better.
You shut up and come back home right now. Just a second ago, a bunch of strange men arrived at the house and have been encircling it.
Those are the guys who have come to reclaim all of that money David took from them.
Huh? Reclaim what money?
And try your best to help David pay that $70,000 to all of them when they come greet you. After all, it's only you left who can help David out with all that now.
Hold on a second. So he's in debt? And what's this $70,000 all about?
David is in some terrible debt right now. That $70,000 that he'd been telling you about had nothing to do with his wedding, but with paying off all of that debt he's currently in. And that debt came from May, who took advantage of and tricked David into getting into debt to give her everything she'd asked for before she took off. And the money that he's borrowed was done at an insanely high interest rate.
I'm not able to think straight about anything right now. Wait, is that really true? But May was always so...
I feel kind of bad for you now, but you're going to have to take great care of David now, all right?
Hey, I'm asking you to please come back home right now. I promise not to bully you anymore while you're here. I've finally come around to realizing just how much I appreciate you and the person you are.
I'm very sorry, but that's impossible now. I was the first one to have their eyes opened and will not be shutting them anytime soon. I had to see the reason for why I was having to give up all my time and money for you guys. When I figured that the answer didn't even exist, I really started to hate myself.
I'm going to think about all of this and learn, okay? That's it. At the very least, can you please pay off all the debt that David is in right now? I'm sure we'll be able to pay you back, all right? How does that sound? Please.
You're never going to give me any of that money back. I mean, look at you both. Neither one of you has ever worked in your lives, and yet you're telling me you'll pay me back $70,000? And even if you're to get a job right after, I'm sure you both will get fired or whatever, knowing both of your personalities.
That will not happen. I will do my best no matter where I have to work. I promise that you'll get your money back. So could you please give us the money to pay off his debt?
If you're saying you'll try your best at whatever job you get, then how about you start right now and use your income to pay off that debt? I'm sure that if you go out there and state that you'll both start to work in order to pay all of that debt off, they will all agree to that. Even I'll step in as a guarantor in this and let them know you're telling the truth.
What? You really think that's going to work on them?
I think you still have time to make things right. I'm no CEO just for show, you know. And they probably aren't smart enough to distrust you anyway, nor myself, so I think it should all work out. But when this happens, you have to promise that you will work to pay off all that money. Because if you mess up again by doing nothing and not paying back the amount they're owed, then I'm not going to even bother stepping in to help.
I understand.
I'm sure, though, that you'll have to pay even more as the time goes on, since you're already being affected by the interest. Do your very best, all right?
But if you go and leave us forever, David and I won't be able to pay for the rent or anything. I promise that I'll work seriously to pay everything off, so you come back and help us with that, all right? Even with David's help, I won't be able to pay for this place.
What are you going on about right now? I am no longer going to be a part of your family anymore. The only family you're going to have now is David, and not another soul else. As family, it's only natural that you go and help them out, right? When I was finished with that conversation with my mom, I went and blocked her number before also deleting her contact in my phone. And I made sure to do the exact same things to David, so I don't think I'll ever be hearing from either one of those two ever again. I did just as I promised and spoke with those men that were surrounding my mom's house looking for David and told them that my mom would be able to pay them back once she got her a job. At first, it seems that both my mom and brother found work and had been trying their best to make the money they desperately needed. But after a couple of weeks, the both of them quit their jobs at the exact same time and started to borrow money from another location in order to pay off the current debt. Sure, that'll buy them a little bit more time for now, but that's only going to prolong the inevitable suffering they'll be getting put through down the road. But considering that the both of them just love to look the other way to reality and run from it, there was only a matter of time before they did all of this to themselves. Now, with those two being in even more debt than they started out battling, they will most definitely not be paying rent for the next couple of months and are on their way to becoming homeless. A few months later, I heard that those two ended up getting beaten pretty hard by the group of loan sharks they had borrowed from after the first group, and that left David totally paralyzed and my mom in a coma, which she's still not out of. But those injuries didn't get given without some sacrifice to those men, as in a last-ditch effort before they came to get their money, David bought a gun and killed one of them. Of course, the court doesn't really agree with what he's done as being a form of self-defense, and now he's on trial for murder and will most likely end up in prison for life. Watching all of this play out from far away has shown me one thing more than anything else, and that's that family was nothing but trouble. I thank God every single day that I was given the chance to escape all of that and change my name so I'm never associated with those two ever again. And now that we're back on the subject of myself, back when I had first ran away from them in the middle of the night, I made sure to make a road trip out of it and drove all the way across the U.S. Luckily, a lot of my work can be done remotely, so my leaders agreed that I could do what I had to escape my mom. And before I knew it, I was in Oregon, signing the contract to a new apartment where I'd be starting. I'm still being asked to go back to the office once a year for our annual meeting, but besides that, I'm free to be here living life like I hadn't just gone through years of pain with my mom and brother. And now understanding that I'm going to have all of my money to myself now, I think it's time that I started to pick up some new hobbies to keep me entertained and make some new friends. And I'd better not forget the most important thing of all of this here. And that's the fact that I finally have the time and energy to go out and find myself a man to marry now.
Just how long are you going to keep living off of my parents, huh? What is the matter with you? Don't you have any shame or pride in yourself? How can you just keep living this way? Are you just never going to stop until you drained every single penny from my poor parents' bank accounts? Do you really think that just because you're my brother's wife that you can get away with taking advantage of my family like this? Well, I'm not going to stand for it. Do you hear me?
Amanda, it is just so lovely to hear from you. A real treat every single time. I see that you're still going on about this nonsense of me taking advantage of your parents. But as I've already told you over and over again, I am no leech. So, can we please just drop this whole thing already?
Well, of course a leech wouldn't think of themselves as a leech. They would think they're just going about their everyday lives while they suck everything from everyone around them. But just who told you that you were allowed to move into the condo with my parents, huh? You do know that they own that building and you have no right to be there, do you?
I'm really sorry, Amanda, but I think you must be mistaken about that condo. I mean, you do know that it's my name on the lease for it, don't you? So basically, that apartment belongs to me, and we're all living in it. Does that make sense to you?
You think I care if some stupid piece of paper has your stupid signature on it? None of that matters at all if you're making my parents pay the rent on that place. Does that make sense to you?
But I'm not making your parents pay for the rent, so I'm not sure what you're talking about at all when you say that.
You really have some nerve trying to brag to be about living in such a nice place when you're not even the one who's paying for it, you little rat. I know for a fact that your entire life is being bankrolled by my parents, and I'm not going to stand for it. I won't see you drain my parents of their savings because that's my inheritance.
Amanda, what is the point of this conversation? What are you trying to say? Because you're really just not making any sense at all. I mean, Brendan and I both have full-time jobs that we work very hard at. There's just no truth to these claims for leeching. At all. So, I really just want to know what is going to make you happy, or at the very least, stop sending messages like this to me and accusing me of things I'm not doing.
You want to know what I want? Fine, I'll tell you what I want. I want you and Brendan to move out of the condo and let me and my husband take your place. That's what would make me happy.
Really? Is that really what you want to happen to solve this? Even after you've spent years barely even talking to your parents? I don't understand. Why are you suddenly wanting to move in with them now? Did something happen? Do you need some kind of assistance?
Oh, shut up. I wouldn't accept help from you if we were the last two people on Earth. I just wanted to be there for my parents now that they're getting up there in age. Is that really so bad? I just can't help but think that they must need some assistance living in that giant condo all by themselves. That's why it would be best if my hubby and I moved in and took your place. My husband is already on board, so you might as well just say yes and move out.
Well, first of all, your parents literally do not live alone. Brendan and I also live in this condo, as you well know. But I still don't understand why you think you and your family would be able to move in with us. I know this place is big and all, but I think we're already at maximum capacity with the 4 of us. And I just can't see 6 people sharing this space comfortably.
Sharing? What on earth are you talking about? Do you really think that I would ever want to live with you?
Sorry, then what are you talking about? What is it exactly that you want from me?
I want you and my no-good nerdy brother to move out of that condo so that my husband and I can move in. I already made that very clear in other messages. I'm ordering you to move out right now. Do you understand me?
But I thought I already explained to you that I own the condo. The lease is under my name and everything. so I don't understand why you would want us to move out.
I already told you that I don't care whose stupid signature is on what stupid paper. You're living with my parents, and as her actual child, I have the right to demand to live with my mom. Over you. You're just standing in the way and being obstructionist at this point, so just leave us alone already.
So I guess you're just going to completely ignore the fact that your brother is also here and living with your parents then? And if you really think that we're such awful people to be around your parents, why don't you go and ask your mom herself what she wants? I mean, they were the ones that moved into the condo with us, I'll have you know.
Oh, I will go and ask her. You can count on that, Tracy. But in the meantime, you and Brendan should pack your bags and get ready to leave.
So, you're really serious about this then? You're really going to try and kick Brendan and I out of our own condo? I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, it's clear that you haven't even talked to your parents about any of this. Maybe you should do that first before jumping the gun like this.
What the heck is the matter with you? I told you that I wanted you out by the end of the week and you're still here? You must have really been trying to piss me off. I guess that explains why I slapped you right on your stupid face.
Are you sure that you don't mean to be apologizing to me right now? I mean, seriously, Amanda, have you lost your mind or something? Why on earth would you do something like this? What is the matter with you?
Oh, shut up, you sore loser. I told you and Brendan to be out of the condo by now and you weren't. You had plenty of warning, so don't act so shocked about this. And what about these boxes that you've left here at that condo? Are you going to come and get them or shall I just chuck them all in the garbage?
Amanda, you are seriously going to regret doing this. I don't think that you understand the mistake that you're making. I mean, you clearly had no clue that it was Brendan and I, mostly me, that were letting your parents stay with us out of the kindness of our hearts. But you seriously hit me to get me out of my own home. You are not going to live this down, and I will make sure that you pay for this.
Oh, please. You think I care what some little leech thinks about what I've done? You two can just disappear for all I care. Now this condo is all mine. And we deserve it much more than you do. After all, you were just leeching off my mom and my dad, using them like your purse and piggy bank. But I talked to my dad, and he said it was fine if we move in.
I'm wondering if you've heard the saying, pride comes before the fall? In this, I think it's more idiocy than pride, but it can be hard to tell with you. I mean, you really just don't know when to quit, and now you've gone and made a real mess of things for everyone.
There you go. Now the real you starts to come out. You know that people only resort to name-calling when they have nothing of value to add to a conversation. And besides, don't go acting as if you weren't trying to steal my family's home around from them. I was only doing what I had to do to protect my parents from horrible people like you and my brother. So just shut up, accept that you've lost, go and never come back, and take my stupid brother with you.
If insulting people means that you have nothing to add to a conversation, then that certainly explains every message you've ever sent to me. I seriously can't deal with you when you act like this. You are just being totally unreasonable and I can't stand it.
Oh, just give it a rest already, would you? You've lost. Don't you see that? I won. The condo is mine. My parents are safe and all is right with the world. Now my husband and I are going to live with and take care of my parents, and you two are never ever going to bother any of us again.
All right then. I hope that you all have a nice life.
And don't ever let me catch your ugly mug sulking around this building either. You got it?
Okay then. I understand. But if you're doing this, then there is some business that we need to attend to. Of course, I still haven't forgiven you for this, or for hitting me in the face, but there is some paperwork we need to take care of. Like changing the name on the lease. Okay then, it's all done. I talked to the leasing company, explained the situation, and that should be the end of it. Enjoy living in your new condo, Amanda!
It's about damn time you got back to me. Could you have moved any slower? You really are useless if I took you that long to change some names on a form. It really is a good thing that I'm kicking you out now. Who knows what damage you might have caused.
Well, does it feel good? Do you think you've won now? Are you glad that your brother and I are finally moving out? Because Brendan and I couldn't be happier to finally be rid of that place.
Oh, please. You think I'm really going to buy that you're happy and that I was able to steal your home away from you? Try less harder. I mean, you two are homeless now. You have nowhere to go, and I've taken everything from you. What could you and my stupid brother possibly be so happy about?
Oh, Amanda, I think you're mistaken again. Brendan and I aren't going to be homeless at all. We've been living in a hotel and we'll keep doing so this week while we arrange all of our stuff for the move. I told you over and over again that Brendan and I both work full-time jobs. And we have quite a bit amassed in savings now. Not to mention the fact that I'm going to be charging you a prorated fee for the time that you'll be in the apartment, as well as for the down payment and everything like that.
You really expect me to pay you a single cent? Why on earth would I ever do that?
Well, because in all those documents I sent you to sign, your husband signed a deal agreeing to pay all of this. So I'm afraid you can't run from this one.
Wait, what? You can't be serious. We're not going to pay anything that you didn't already explain to us that we'd have to pay beforehand. That's just ridiculous. It's particularly theft.
I'm sorry, but it really isn't my fault at all if you or your husband just signed those papers without reading through what they said. But anyways, you've already signed them and they've already been officiated, so there really isn't anything you can do about it. And then, once you've paid Brendan and I what you owe us, we'll agree to never ever talk to you again. Which means that we expect to never hear from you either.
Whatever. I don't care about anything you and my lousy brother have to say. We would never even want to talk to you again anyways. And besides, we still have this condo all to ourselves. I seriously doubt that whatever we owe you is even going to be that much. So we'll pay for it for no reason than to finally be rid of you.
All right then. If you pay us what you owe us, then we'll be out of your hair and you'll never have to deal with us again. That is what you want, isn't it?
You know darn well that's exactly what I want. Not only was I able to save my parents from being in the clutches of horrible vampires such as yourself, but now I finally get to live with my parents.
You know, you keep calling me a parasite and accusing Brendan and I of leeching off of your parents. But I think that you and your husband are going to be the real leeches.
Say whatever you want, you sore loser. It isn't going to change the fact that I have a condo and you don't, and you're clearly just jealous of that fact.
Great. Well, think what you want. I really don't care. I hope that this all turns out the way that you want it to. Good luck with everything, and never ever contact us again, okay?
I was just about to tell you the same thing about not contacting me. I really don't care at all how you and Brendan's life end up, really.
Right, well, I guess I'm just wondering how you two are going to afford to pay rent on that place next month. After all, it was not cheap to live in that place, but I'm sure that you'll all figure it out. Good luck!
Whoa, what? What is that supposed to mean? Is that some kind of joke?
Nope, I'm very serious. You'll have to pay to keep living there. It's kind of how these things work. Anyways, we're still busy with moving stuff here, so I've got to go. See ya!
Tracy, what is the meaning of this, huh? I mean, how could this happen? You need to explain to me what is going on right this instant.
Oh, Amanda! That's so funny hearing from you so soon. I thought you said that you were never ever going to reach out to us ever again. I wonder what this could be about. What seems to be on your mind? And please make it quick. I really don't have the time to talk to someone like you.
We can't afford the rent on this place and things are falling apart here fast. We even asked my parents to pay, but they said that they don't have any money in their bank accounts.
Well, yeah, I knew that already. But anyway, what is it that you wanted to talk to me about? Unless... No, Amanda. Say it isn't so. Don't tell me that you didn't know your parents were penniless.
Wait a second. You know that my parents didn't have any money in their bank accounts?
Of course I did. Why do you think that I was the only one paying for everything up until about a month ago? They certainly couldn't afford to do it.
But that's... Wait, what? Are you kidding me? So they really don't have any money at all?
That's what I'm telling you. Your parents don't have any money that I wasn't giving them. In fact, both of your parents were in so much debt that they had to sell their old house. That's when they had to reach out to Brendan and I and ask if they would live with us.
They sold their house because they were in debt? But I had no idea about that. Why didn't I know about it?
Probably because you never showed any interest in your parents until you thought you could use them to steal my condo from me. But it's all true. They couldn't afford to live in their own place, and so they begged us to let them move in. And we said yes.
But then, how am I supposed to pay this month's rent? I certainly can't afford a place like this. Tracy, what if you moved back in with all of us and then you could go back to paying how you used to?
You can't be serious about that, right? You really think that I would ever move back in there and live with you guys again? No. Brendan and I already told you that we never wanted to hear from any of you ever again. We've already bought our own new condo and we don't want anything else to do with any of you as long as we live. Do you understand?
Hold on a second. You and my brother bought a new condo together? But I don't believe it. How could you do that to me?
To you? This has nothing to do with you at all. We just needed a place to live since someone kicked us out of our old place.
But I had no idea that my parents didn't have any money. How could I have even know that? You should have told me about this before you let me kick you out.
Oh, please, Amanda. I told you time and time again that you should really talk to your parents about this. But you just wouldn't listen. Besides, do you really want me to feel bad for you after you slapped me in the face and stole our condo?
This can't be happening. Things weren't supposed to be like this. I don't know what to do.
I tried to tell you that Brendan and I were not the so-called parasites that you thought we were. If anyone was living off of anyone, it was your parents off of us. You were paying for every little thing at that place.
But that isn't fair. I thought that you were just trying to brag about your money so that you could scare me away from taking over your condo. You should have done more to convince me that this was a bad idea. This is all your fault. We were so happy to get to live in this huge place because we thought it was going to be free. But it's not like that at all. How could you do this to us? You betrayed us.
Betrayed you? Please do not tell me that you're trying to make yourself out to be the victim here. I am not going to stand for that for 1 second.
It isn't fair, though. I thought that my parents were going to pay for everything and that I wouldn't have to worry about anything after we moved in here.
Please tell me you're not serious about that. I mean, how old are you now? You're not some kid who gets an allowance from their parents anymore. You're an adult and you should know how to live within your means. Although, I can't say that I entirely blame you for not knowing how to save money, given the fact that your parents clearly didn't know how to do that either. But if you thought you wouldn't have to pay for anything, then you've just been delusional this whole time.
But I just wanted my parents to pay for things.
Repeating it isn't going to make it happen. You do realize that, right? Saying that you want your parents to pay for everything isn't going to change the fact that they don't have any money. Brendan and I wanted to live in that condo where you all are at for so long. We waited and waited and waited on a list for vacancies, and then we were finally able to secure one. And then, not only your parents, but then you and your husband came and took it all away from us. But I've already signed over the condo to your husband, so it's your problem now.
What do you mean you signed it over to him? That doesn't make any sense. When did this happen?
Last month, Amanda. It happened last month when I sent that paperwork for you to sign. Did you really not read any of it?
Well, I kind of more just skimmed over the first page of all the different stacks, but I thought that was where all of the most important information was.
All right then, that's fine if you did that, but it doesn't change the fact that you basically did this to yourself then. And I don't see any reason why I should give you anything or show any mercy because you were too stupid to not read a contract you signed.
But I didn't know that things were going to go like this. I would have never agreed to anything if I knew this was going to happen.
And what do you want me to do about it now? The documents are signed, everything is official, that's that.
But my husband and I have debt of our own, and a lot of it. There's no way that we could ever afford this place and make payments on it.
So that's what all of this is about. I had a sneaking suspicion that you might have owed money and that was what this was about.
You mean you knew this whole time that we were also in financial trouble?
Well, I did think it was weird that you two didn't own a home at all and that you were so eager to move in with your parents when you thought they were paying rent. It was just a guess of mine. But now I know that it's true.
But I still don't know what I should do. How do I get out of this mess now?
Well, one thing you could do is to look through the copies of the documents that I sent you. I think you'll see that if you fail to pay the rent, they will make a payment plan using your salary and take up to half of it while keeping a running tab for you that you'll have to pay at the end of the year.
But how much do I owe the building already?
Well, given that you two are technically new entrants, you have to pay the entry fee. Plus the space, of course. I think you're looking at around $10,000?
$10,000? Are you kidding me? I don't have that kind of money.
Well, you better come up with it soon or else your debt is only going to go up. Oh, and by the way, the building does add interest onto the running tab that they'll keep for you. Anyways, have a nice life. I'm going to block you after this, and then Brendan and I are never going to have to worry about you or your parents ever again.
Wait, you're going to block me? You can't do that. Please, you have to help me. You can't just leave.
I didn't block Amanda for a while after that, just to see what she would send me. She kept begging for help and for me to give her Brendan and I's new address. But I was never ever going to do that. It was long afterwards that I blocked her. I heard from some old neighbors in the building that loud fights could be heard from our old unit, and that by the end of the month, they saw Amanda and her family packing up their boxes and moving out of the condo. I have no idea where they all are now, or what they're going to do about their debt. But quite frankly, I don't really care.